Hey guys, welcome back to another one by me, Spectral Blood. Um, it's great to have you guys back. We are going to continue playing Pokemon Colosseum. Um, Now I'm gonna say ahead of time that I apologize if the quality of this video isn't very great. For the sheer fact of, uh, I got really fucking sick last night, and I still feel like shit. But I'm still doing these videos for you guys, and I have a little bit of help with my best friend, Coffee. I didn't sleep worth a damn because I was sick. But hey, that's beside the point. Let's get started, huh? Now, additionally though, last time I saved this game, for some reason it corrupted it. So I had to go ahead and fix some things. Like, I had to go back through it just like with my Mega Man videos. I had to go all the way back through it just to get where I left off. And apparently it wasn't just the save data that was corrupted. It was actually the memory card as a whole that was corrupted. Now, I'm swapping these guys out. What item are you holding? You are holding a miracle seed. That's what you need. But hey, I am, before we go off to Pyrite Town, because that is our next location, before we go there, I'm going to take you guys in here to the pre-gym. Hi, welcome to the pre-gym. This is a place for trainers and Pokemon to not only sharpen their strength and skills, but also their body and spirit. Okay, cool. Let's see, all Pokemon have types and abilities. The combination of those elements affect the balance of power in battle. I'm not the type that does his thinking in the head, so I'm stumped by stuff like this. I figure if I just keep battling, that sort of stuff will be conditioned into me. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's how I learned. I never went to a Pokemon school. Not in any of the games. Pokemon gain experience by winning battles. Once they gain enough experience, they level up. By leveling up, Pokemon learn all sorts of different moves. It's up to the trainer to mix and match those moves to suit the opponent. That's how trainers can show off the skills. When you get into a Pokemon battle, think about their order. It's important to think about which one should come first and so on. When you carry more Pokemon with you, you should pay attention to their ordering. Now pay attention, one does not become a good trainer simply by battling without strategy. A good trainer always thinks about the Pokemon that are in battle. Oh, you must be a trainer too. Are you listening in on my class? Since you're here, I have something that you might like. May I see your PDA, please? Oh, that's a Pokemon Digital Assistant, or PDA for short. Spec, you have one too, don't you? Spec, show the PDA. Here you go. I've upgraded it and added the strategy memo function. You'll be able to check the types and abilities of the Pokemon you've met at a glance. Come see me whenever you like. I'll update your PDA with detailed data on the Pokemon you've met. I hope you make good use of the strategy memo as you aim to be a great trainer. Oh, so I basically have a Pokédex. That's cool. I have to go through the alert tones again. Melody 2. That's definitely gonna be... Hang on, I want to hear that one again, actually. Okay. That's my email tone. Has to be. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Pokemon, I'm gonna go ahead and read the board for you. And if you don't like that, then you can go ahead and you can skip ahead. It's YouTube. That's the great thing about it. If you don't like learning about things, then you can skip. So, I'm gonna read the board for you. There are some tips on Pokemon battles. Oh. So I can't. In damn near any game I've ever played, you can. But anyway, let's go ahead and do some battles. Hello, I'm Justy. I'm in charge of running the pre-gym. Judging by your appearance, I'd say that you're traveling, the two of you. Well, what do you think? Since you're already here, do you feel like having a battle? Yeah. Okay, then let me introduce you to the trainers of the pre-gym. When you're ready to go to the battle arena in the center and stand on the left-hand side. Okay. Let's go. Spat, go for it. I'll be right here cheering. Looks like you're ready. Well, let's get this started. In all, you'll be facing 4 trainers. They're a handful, I can vouch for that. And now, this is where your opponent enters. Coffee. I hate this little tab thingy, especially when they won't pop down. It kills me sometimes. Do you feel like taking on some grass-type Pokemon? Then I'm the one you want. Bring it on, biatch! Sunkern and Hoppin. Hop, hop. Hop, hop. Hoppy. Makuita and Baby. Now, another good reason to my benefit of putting Shadow Pokemon out first is that if you look at the little gauge that's under them where the EXP bar should be, for those of you unfamiliar with how Pokemon Colosseum works, Shadow Pokemon have a heart meter instead of an experience meter. Now, when you travel with Shadow Pokemon, that heart meter begins to empty. Now what that means is that by the time it gets to the very, very end on the left-hand side, they are ready to open their heart. Later on in the game, I can't do it yet, but later on in the game, when they get to that stage, I can purify them and they'll become normal Pokemon again. Which essentially that is the goal of this entire game, is purifying these Pokemon. And all accumulated experience will be given to them once they've been purified, which means they won't get any right now. So they will literally all stay at level 30. And kind of like this, I was actually just about to get to this. You saw how it said that Makuita went into Hyper Mode, right? Well, Hyper Mode is essentially the same thing as Confusion, except for if they hit the enemy, it has a much higher chance of dealing a critical hit. However, if I call them while they're in Hyper Mode, watch his gauge. It jumped pretty goddamn far. So that's the great thing about Hyper Mode in Shadow Pokemon. You simply call them out, and it'll work a lot harder on the heart gauge. So you guys are learning things today. I'm not gonna lie, I first played this game when I was a fucking little kid. Maybe 8 to 10 years old, somewhere in there. And it took me fucking forever because of that to figure out how the mechanics for this shit work. I'm gonna toughen up some more. I hope you keep working too. We're gonna keep working on these. I'm basically just gonna go ahead and try to do a battle rush with these. Pokemon battle rush. So, okay, gotcha. Let's get the next battle started. I'm trying to figure out an accent that would work for Justy. And it ain't working. Leave water type battling to me. I'll teach you just how strong the water type can be. My cat's looking at me like I'm crazy. Yes, I let my animals into, or I let my one animal into my room. But hey, a lot of people do that. I love cats. But as it stands now, I can only manage one. But I love her regardless. And she knows this. At least I hope she knows this. Now, the one major fallback, or the one major downside, I should say, to Shadow Pokemon is, as you've seen, or if you've paid attention, as you've seen, is that Shadow Pokemon, when they use their default attack, which is Shadow Rush, it works the same way as the move Takedown. It actually recoils. It recoils, and because of that, they lose health by attacking. It's kind of like one of those even trade-off things. Well, not really even trade-off, but it is definitely a trade-off. Meryl. Like, I've always been a Pokemon buff, ever since I was a kid. Like I said in the first video for this series, I've been playing Pokemon games since I was 4. Granted, I do not by any means claim to be the best. I want to be the very best like no one ever was, but I don't claim to be. But I will say that I think I'm pretty damn good working with what I've got. Plus, a lot of it has to do with RNG. You see, every Pokemon has stats, and those are all considered. But all of those stats are actually forming the RNG for the move. I was impressed by your Pokemon. Like critical hits, for example, they take speed, dexterity, and agility all into account between both the Pokemon before it can form a critical hit. My goal is to become the ultimate water-type battler. Back to more training for me. Well, ain't you dedicated? Yes. I've got a few items to spare, so even if my Shadow Pokemon start fucking up, then I can still do it. Is it you? Did you want to battle me? You don't look like a trainer. Well, it doesn't matter. You can learn how a proper trainer battles from me. Rich boy Dougal. No wonder you talk like a fucking conceited asshole. Oh, he's a ground type trainer. Okay, cool. Makuita. Oh, another thing about Shadow Pokemon that I neglected to go over. You see how Makuita's lost two of his heart bars. He's learned focus energy. The more that his heart opens up, the more moves that he can learn. So, Shadow Pokemon are a really amazing thing. And I love how it was implemented, because with Shadow Pokemon involved, in this region, there is no such thing as wild Pokemon as of right now. In XD Gale of Darkness there is, but in a very small margin. But I love how they implemented Shadow Pokemon, because you have to work with them for them to learn new moves, but instead of them being wild, you snag them from the trainers. And if you go back to battle those trainers, often that slot will either be empty or replaced. Regardless, though, I love how they implemented Shadow Pokemon. It's fucking awesome. I love it. Alright, Makuita. You're getting a super potion. If I'm not mistaken, this is the third battle that we've been through, correct? I think. I don't know. God, the coffee is really helping, though. The coffee is really helping. You're tough, even though you don't look it. The way you battle is interesting. You might say it's unique, or maybe it's just chaotic. Well, I'll wish you the best of luck. Yes, one more. This will be the last one, and then we'll head on to Pyrite Town. Your challenge is accepted. I do hope you're ready. Lady Gwyn. Nice. She's so kawaii. So kawaii. So kawaii. My bay leaf is more kawaii than you. So fuck you. Fuck you and your anus. Ooh, synthesis. Hell yeah. And Makuita's gone into hyper mode after being ordered an attack. But this is good. Granted, hyper mode gets really annoying. Because if you're in a high-pitched battle, you know what you need to do. But half the time you just can't because of hyper mode. It's just kind of a fucky situation all around. Until you call them, that is. That's literally all hyper mode is good for. Is calling them and opening their heart. Because with hyper mode, like I explained a minute ago, there's a higher chance of it landing a critical hit. But at the same time, the part I neglected to bring up was that hyper mode also has a higher chance of you hitting yourself instead of your opponent. And here's why it's annoying. Another thing about hyper mode is that I've personally noticed throughout all of my years is that the more open the heart tends to be, the more frequent hyper mode. So it's just kind of a pain sometimes. But hey, Makuita's already getting there. I mean, Jesus. I'm actually okay with this because my main goal here was working on their hearts. So I honestly have no issue. Seeing as how this is the last one we're gonna do, I have no issue with them fainting, because that doesn't affect their likeness to me until I've purified them. So it's like the more battles I win with them, the better off I'll be. If they faint in battle, it won't hurt anything. When they are shadow Pokemon. Wait, he has Vital Throw. But Espeon's faster, of course. Like, whenever I bring up this game, another thing about it is that a lot of people ask me, out of the two, which is your favorite, Umbreon or Espeon? I've always been a faster fighter, and I've never liked, like in any game I've ever played, I've never liked pure aggression. I've always had some kind of strategy behind me. Always. So, of course, with Espeon fitting the speed description, as well as the intelligence description, as opposed to Umbreon, who's mainly defensive, and really isn't. Well, even now where I have him, his attack power sucks. So, going by Pokemon standards, I have to say that special attack and special defense is the way to go, at least in my opinion. Of course, I'm gonna use whatever's best based on the situation, but I'd have to say Espeon, most definitely. My battling style must have been too sophisticated for you. Well, fuck you then, Gwen. Fuck you. Right in your asshole. Damn bitch. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Whoa, that was inspiring. You showed me a great battle. It deserves a gift. I want you to have this. A white herb? You don't have a full party of Pokemon yet. When you get 6 of them, I'd like you to come see me again. That's when I'll be your opponent. I'll be looking forward to it. Fuck you. Now, another thing is, mainly for Shadow Pokemon, however, Pyrite Town is the place to go for grinding, whether it be for levels or to open a Shadow Pokemon's heart. So after I heal my Pokemon and then save the game, we're headed to Pyrite Town. Because like I said, that is the place to go for levels and Shadow Pokemon. Makuita's already about there, somehow. Like, usually it takes me forever and a day, but you know. I usually try to get the Shadow Pokemon out of the way first, because that way I've got a lot more to go on later. Like, there's honestly a lot more upsides to normal Pokemon rather than Shadow Pokemon, but I've got to get the Shadow Pokemon out of the... but there are also... it's kind of like making a whole pros and cons list between the two. It's a pain in the ass, but it happens. Whoa, hold it there. This is a construction site. It's not a safe place to be. No place for tourists to visit. Go on, scram. Yup. It's been a mighty long time. I can't rightly recall when it was that... when it was that I was last at home. I can't read today. But we're just about done here. All that's left is to clean up the site, and we're done. Been working hard, I have. Let me tell you, making this here huge tower's one massive job. It's hard to imagine even for me. Y'all come back to visit when we're all done here. There's a Colosseum. There'll be a Colosseum on the top of that tower. Amazing stuff. I actually remember this tower. And it really was fucking badass. However, it's like, even in, it's like, in the follow-up for this game, XD Gale of Darkness, in the follow-up for it, the Colosseum Tower, or whatever it was supposed to be called, was accessible right away, but I guess it's because it takes place later in the future. So let's go to Pyrite Town. Oh, Mr. Johnson, give a man a break here. I keep telling you, I don't know anything. That better be true, Kale. If you're trying to con me, I'll know about it. Mr. Johnson, sir. I wouldn't even think about lying to you. You gotta believe me, right? Alright, fine. I'll let you off easy today. See you. What a nitwit. Of course I haven't got a thing to tell you. are you looking at? I haven't seen your faces around these parts. What are you, tourists? If you don't want to get hurt, you should get lost and quick. For the good of your health. This is Pyrite, the town of Earth, Wind, and Money. You appear to be outsiders. You had best beware. There are many ne'er-do-wells. Sorts here. I was so confused. Alright. Oh, okay. Ow, 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 ow. I'm sorry, Chief, but there's trouble afoot. You see, Chief, there's talk that thugs have been witnessed using strange Pokemon. Huh, Chief? You're not the Chief. I beg your pardon. I'm here, Johnson. That story isn't new. I've heard about it over and over already. Oh, Chief, there you are. You're such a kidder. My name is Shirls. I'm the chief of police in this town. Are you two travelers? Yes. I see. Well, whether you are or not, it would be best if you were to get out of this town as soon as possible. The town's descended into a state of lawless chaos. I couldn't guarantee your safety if anything were to happen. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna save it real quick. Go through here. I don't have the keys. Can't talk to them. Oh, hey, these guys. What? Not you two again? Listen, you have to promise, don't tell Mirror B that we're hiding out here, okay? After we blew our last chance, we couldn't go back, so we turned ourselves in for stealing that truck, and here we are. If we stay here, we'd be safe. I wouldn't go that far, but okay. I mean, Mirror B is an asshole. You thugs must be Mirror B's newest recruits. Well, shoot, beat it. I don't have any money to give to the likes of you. I don't want money! Are you trying to sell me something? Well, sorry, we don't need anything. Please leave. Pirate Town's always had a history as a rough town, with all the muscle-bound roughnecks about. That's not a surprise. But when ducking, I really don't know how to pronounce that. Please, somebody put some kind of enunciation for this guy's name in the comments below. For the love of Christ, it's been bothering me. Is it duking or ducking? I keep calling him duking, but I want to stick with that. But someone please let me know so I'm not angering anybody. Or at least for my peace of mind, it's been killing me for years, man. When duking was in charge, there wasn't any of this lawlessness that you see today. What's come over duking? Or what's come over duking? Okay. We've just received breaking news. According to the arrested Snag'em member, the smaller snag machine is compact enough. Okay, we've already read through this one. I try to check on the TVs frequently because the news, you never know when it's going to change. And since I'm in a new town, I thought, well, why not check it out? So there's the shop. There's the hotel, which I'll probably be going there pretty frequently. I don't know yet. Because they don't have, for some reason, they don't have a Pokemon. Ow. I'm so sorry, I hit the mic. But yeah, for some odd reason, they don't have a Pokemon Center in this town. So you have to use the hotel, and you have to pay money. I'm the lookout. Nobody's supposed to get by me. There's nothing special behind the bookshelf. Yes, there is. Don't lie to me, kid. That's why, Marcia. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I still watch a lot of PewDiePie, and the first thing that came to mind when when this person's name was said was frickin' PewDiePie's girlfriend. I'm so sorry. Plus, I pretty much fell asleep last night to just watching YouTube videos, so. That's why, Marcia, we've got to somehow snag them from those criminals. Snag what? Ah, you startled me. How did you get here? That's weird. My little brother is supposed to be on lookout. My sister hasn't done anything but chatter. I'm so bored. I want to play house. Are you Papa's friends? I'm Marcia. Pleased to meet you. But sorry, we're busy. We're talking about something that's quite important. Please come visit and play with us another time. Well, fuck you. I'm not even gonna see what's on the desk. I'm not gonna butt your business that bad. Duking. How much more are you going to take from Miraby and his goon and his stooges? They're using you in the Colosseum. What is the matter with you? Have they sucked the spirit right out of you? So you just clam up. I've lost faith in you. That man that went out is Silva. He's Duking's friend. But he was really angry. His face looked all scary. Sorry, I'm busy. You'll have to excuse me. I'm gonna try to show you guys each of the battles in this town at least once before I start working on Shadow Pokemon and crap. But I'm gonna edit that part out so you guys won't have to see the grind. I know you guys don't really appreciate that kind of stuff. I know I don't. I hate it when people grind in their videos. I hate it. So I'm gonna show you guys each of the battles for this town once before I really get started. Yo, your outfit's kinda weird, but you're a trainer too, aren't you? Yeah? Good, that's okay then. I'll teach you about one of the few rules this town has. Here, we have street battles rather than exchanging greetings. Oh. Well, okay, cool. Sentret and Tailo. A normal type and a flying type. I'm just gonna go ahead and send out Umbreon and Espeon. And why? Because I can. This battle, I have a feeling, was meant specifically to counter a team of fighting and grass, such as Makuita and Bayleaf. Because, yeah, fighting is strong against normal type, but weak against flying type. And vice versa. Flying type is also strong against grass type. So that Tailo and that Sentret were made to counter my other team. At least that's what I assume. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? I can't be the only one to think it makes sense. You have a tiny pecker. You have a tiny pecker, so of course it's not going to hurt much. Jokes. I'm sorry. I excel in dirty jokes, okay? I excel at dirty jokes. I can't help it. I can't help it. I was breastfed by my father. That sounded so bad. I'm sorry, Dad. I know you're watching. I love you. Whoops, you are better than me. Dun, 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 dun. I have this weird victory habit. Like when I win and it's not really an achievement kind of win. If it's either like a really lesser kind of win or I just beat a kind of boss, then for some reason the first thing that reels to my mind is the Final Fantasy fanfare. Dun, 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 dun. I guess it's because Final Fantasy was the first RPG that I actually played, other than Pokemon, that is. Plus, I would watch my dad play Final Fantasy X for hours on end. Specifically, Blitzball. I love me some Blitzball. That is, to me personally, that is better than football, basketball, any other sport that I can possibly think of, blitzball is better. Like, they need to find a way to make that a thing. I tripped myself up, but you're not bad at all. Your Pokemon are tops too. I can see it in your eyes. You're just like us. It's easy to see. I'm actually going to change out to my Shadow Pokemon really quick. Oh, look at what we have here. You're quite the hottie. Why don't you lose that wallflower with you and be my sweetie? Well, wait a second. Who are you calling, who are you to call me a wallflower? What makes me a wallflower? Look at her. She's all serious. Uncool, man. I'm only teasing out of boredom. A guy like him, he's not to my taste. That's it. I'm furious now. Speck, be a man and stomp her down. Stomp? Who, me? That's a laugh. Come on, then. I'll go easy on you. Now, by the way, if you haven't, if you don't already know this, my name is not Speck. My actual name is not Speck. My full name, my full name is Michael Maharius D. Jager Biddle. Speck is just like the alias I use on YouTube. You know, my channel name is Spectral Blood, so I just use Speck as an alias. So do not think my name is Speck, because I've ran into that problem already, and frankly, it bothers me. Slightly. I know that I caused it by making my alias Speck, but good God, people. I mean, granted, it would be kind of cool to be named Speck because it's such an unusual name, but still. Gulpin is a poison type, so frankly, it would be best for me to send, it would be best for me to send my Espeon out there, but like I said, I'm trying to work with my Shadow Pokemon a little bit. I mean, frankly, if I had thrown Espeon out there, I can almost guarantee you this battle would already be over. But I have to work with my Shadow Pokemon. Bayleaf, come to your senses. After this part, the fun part begins. Oh, geez. You see, because after this battle, all of the people out in the circle of town, all the people that are in the center of town have at least a Shadow Pokemon, and it is my goal. Like I said earlier, it is pretty much the goal of the game to capture and purify Shadow Pokemon. Besides, it's the only way I'm going to get a full party. And I don't have a little hookup for my Game Boy so I can pull Pokemon over. I think that's an option. I know that you can hook up your Game Boy to this game so that you can battle with other people using your Pokemon versus the player's Pokemon, or if you or however. But I don't have the little hookup. Emok. Emok is her name. What kind of man battles a frail girl like me without easing up? You're not going to win the hearts of girls that way. I think I've already got the heart of one, so fuck it to you. So I'm going to save it again really quick. Because this game is has a lot of Shadow Pokemon, I'm a spastic saver. But I am going to have to end this episode here because it's damn near 40 minutes now. But I will be back. I will be back in the next video to go through Pyrite Town. But I love you guys. Please come back for another one. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button. And As always, I will see you next time.